If you're here, it's not by accident. Maybe your soul has been quiet for too long. Maybe your prayers have gone unspoken. Maybe you've wondered if God still hears you or if He ever did. This isn't a sermon. This isn't a performance. It's a whisper from one heart to another, a confession, a prayer, a return. So find a still place, breathe deep, and let your heart speak what your mouth was too tired to say. Because the God who loves you never stopped listening. Lord, I don't even know how to begin. I sit here in silence, unsure if this is a prayer or just a confession whispered into the dark. I used to know the words, used to bow my head and speak with confidence, with structure, with all the phrases I thought you wanted to hear. But now, everything feels different. I don't know how to pray anymore. Not because I've stopped believing in you, but because I've started doubting myself, doubting that my voice matters, doubting that you're still listening. I've let distance grow between us, not out of rebellion, not out of hate, but out of weariness. I got tired, Lord, tired of pretending I was okay, tired of saying the right things when I was breaking inside, tired of trying to be strong when I wasn't. So I stopped talking, I stopped reaching, I stopped praying, and in the silence that followed, I began to wonder if you were gone or if I had simply closed the door and forgotten how to open it again. But tonight, something in me aches to be known. Not the filtered version, not the version I show to others, just me, raw, unspoken, unfinished. I'm here, Lord, still here. And though my words feel clumsy and my heart feels heavy, I need you to know I miss you. I miss the way I used to believe you were right here beside me. I miss the peace I felt when I poured my soul out without fear of judgment. I miss knowing, deep down, that I was heard, that I was held. I don't know what to say now. I don't know what you want from me, but I'm reaching again. Even if my hand is trembling, even if my voice is barely a whisper, I'm reaching. Because somewhere, deep beneath the numbness and the shame, I still want you. I still long for you. And maybe that longing is a prayer in itself. Maybe you can hear the ache. Maybe you've been listening all along. So here I am, Lord. Not perfect, not polished, but present. And maybe that's enough. I used to think you were silent, that you had turned away, that maybe I had done something too wrong, too messy, too unforgivable. The silence scared me. It echoed louder than any voice. I cried out some nights not with words, but with tears. I watched others speak of you with certainty while I stood quietly on the edges of my own faith. I wanted to believe you still saw me, still cared, but the silence convinced me otherwise. Until now. Until I started listening, not with my ears, but with something deeper. Lord, maybe you weren't silent at all. Maybe I just forgot how to hear you. Maybe your voice was never missing, it was just soft, gentle, waiting for me to stop talking, stop performing, stop explaining, and just be still, just breathe, just listen. I think I expected thunder, fire, a divine interruption, but you've always spoken in the whisper, haven't you? In the sunrise I ignored, in the kindness I shrugged off, in the quiet conviction when I almost gave up. Maybe you spoke every time I chose mercy instead of bitterness, every time I paused before reacting, every time I felt a quiet pull to come back to myself, back to you. Your silence wasn't absence, it was invitation. An invitation to stop demanding and start receiving, to stop filling the space with noise and let peace speak. I kept waiting for you to prove yourself loud enough to be undeniable, but you've been here all along. whispering not just to be heard, but to be felt. I'm sorry I missed it. I'm sorry I assumed you left when I was the one who stopped looking. The world is loud. My thoughts are louder. But you are steady, constant, unchanging. I thought you were gone, but you were near. I thought you were quiet, but you were kind. And now I'm learning to hear again. Slowly, softly, with more silence than sound. And in that stillness, I find you. I think there are more things I didn't say than things I ever did. Not because I didn't feel them, but because I was afraid to speak them. Afraid you'd see me differently. Afraid you'd be disappointed. Afraid that if I said it out loud, it would make it more real, and I wasn't ready for real. So I smiled through the ache. I said I'm fine when I wasn't. I lifted my hands while my heart was numb. I gave answers I didn't believe just to prove I still belonged. But the truth is, Lord, I've been carrying things in silence. Resentment I didn't know where to place. Guilt I didn't know how to lay down. Anger I was too ashamed to admit. Doubts I thought were dangerous. And in all of that, I kept pretending I was okay, at least okay enough for you. But you've never asked for the filtered version of me. You've never needed my edited prayers. And so tonight, I want to tell you what I never said. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for thinking I had to earn your love. I'm sorry for putting on masks, even in prayer. I'm sorry for pushing you away when I needed you most. I'm sorry for treating my wounds like proof you had left me, instead of invitations to let you in. I'm sorry for doubting that you could love a version of me that didn't have all the answers. I'm sorry for judging others while hiding my own brokenness. I'm sorry for giving up, not once, but quietly, over time. I thought if I said these things, you'd turn away. But somehow, even in the saying, I feel you drawing closer. I feel a tenderness I forgot existed. A kind of love that doesn't need performance, only permission. And you whisper, not in anger, but in mercy, I already knew, and I never left. You've known all along, haven't you? Every thought I buried, every prayer I was too ashamed to pray, every truth I swallowed down. And still you waited, not with arms crossed, but with arms open. So here I am, no more hiding, no more pretending, no more holding back what you already see. I'm not asking for a miracle. I'm asking for grace. And maybe, just maybe, I've already received it, because I finally spoke what was always safe to say. I thought I could do it. I told myself I had to. That maybe if I just held everything together long enough, smiled wide enough, worked hard enough, stayed busy enough, it would eventually feel like peace. I thought strength meant silence. That being okay meant not needing anyone. Not needing you. I didn't say it out loud, but my actions did. I drifted, slowly. I let the days pass without you, not because I stopped believing, but because I didn't want to be seen in my weakness. I wanted to impress you. I wanted you to be proud of how together I had become. But the more I tried to be strong without you, the more hollow I became. I built a life that looked stable on the outside, while my soul was slowly caving in. I smiled when I wanted to scream. I kept going when I should have stopped. I poured out when I was already empty. And all the while, I told myself, I'm fine, I can handle this, I've got it. But I didn't, I don't, I can't. And maybe now, I finally understand what you meant when you said, my strength is made perfect in weakness. You never asked me to be invincible. You never called me to carry the world. You called me to come, to rest, to abide. I thought surrender was failure, but now I see it's where real strength begins. I tried to be strong without you, Lord, and I fell apart. But in the breaking, something beautiful happened. I saw how gentle you are, how patient, how you waited, not to scold me, but to hold me. You didn't say, "I told you so." You said, "I'm still here." And somehow, those 3 words brought more healing than all the pretending ever could. I'm tired of being strong by the world's definition. I want to be held together by grace, not grit. I want to be led, not just driven. I want to need you, openly, daily, desperately, because in you, I don't have to hide my weakness. In you, weakness becomes the doorway to something deeper, to something real. I don't need to prove I'm okay anymore. I just need to be with you. That's where my strength is. That's where I can breathe again. There were nights when the silence wrapped around me like a blanket too heavy to shake off. I would lie in bed, staring at the ceiling, wondering why the ache in my chest refused to go away. I didn't say much in those moments, sometimes nothing at all. Just quiet tears sliding down, prayers unspoken, hope flickering like a flame ready to go out. I told myself I was alone. I believed the lie that no one saw me. Not even you, especially not you. I questioned everything, your nearness, your love, even my worth. I thought if you were real, if you were close, surely I would have felt something. Surely I wouldn't feel like I was drowning in emptiness. But looking back now, I see it. The details I missed, the moments I brushed off, the tiny mercies that held me together when I had no strength of my own. It was you were there. When I had no words, you heard the groan of my soul. When I shut down emotionally, you gently stayed. When I pulled away, you leaned in. You were there when I felt forgotten, writing my name into the wind, into the sunrise, into the hands that reached out when I didn't expect them to. You were there in the silence, not absent, just listening. Just letting me be honest, letting me unravel without leaving. I thought you were waiting on me to be better, to pray better, to believe better. But now I see, you were just waiting for me to see that you never moved. That love doesn't need a stage or a spotlight. That presence doesn't always announce itself, it just stays. And you stayed. Through the cold nights, through the numb mornings, through the questions I was too afraid to ask. You stayed. You were there when I thought I was alone. And somehow, that changes everything. Not because all the pain is gone, but because I know now I don't carry it alone. I never did, and I never will. You're not the God who waits on the mountaintop for me to climb back up. You're the God who sits with me in the valley, silent and steady, until I can breathe again. And maybe that's what love truly is. Not loud, not flashy, just faithful. Lord, if we're being honest, I've never truly believed I deserved your love. Not really. Not when I replay the things I've done, the thoughts I've hidden, the moments I've turned away from you in silence, in pride, in fear. I've messed up more than I want to admit. I've said things I regret, stayed silent when I should have spoken, walked away from what was right because it felt easier than facing the truth. I've hurt people, I've hurt myself, and somewhere deep inside, I started to believe that I had to earn my way back to you, that if I could just prove I was good again, pray harder, serve more, feel less broken, then maybe you'd let me in again. Maybe then you'd love me fully. But love doesn't work that way. Not yours. Yours isn't performance-based. It's not held together by my ability to impress you. It was already whole before I ever showed up. And no matter how many times I try to convince myself I'm too far gone, Your love comes quietly and dismantles the argument. Over and over again, you whisper, "You were never beyond grace." And that undoing, it breaks me, because I know I don't deserve it. I've run too many times, pushed you away with the same hands that now reach for you in desperation. And yet, here you are, still here, still steady, still offering me what I've tried to earn but could never purchase. Your love, pure, undeniable, unrelenting. I don't deserve it, God. I know that, but I also can't live without it. I can't breathe without knowing there's someone who won't walk away when I'm a mess. I can't hope without believing there's mercy for people like me. And I can't pretend anymore that I don't want it. I want it more than I've ever wanted anything. Not because it makes me feel good, but because it makes me feel whole. Because in your love, I find the pieces of myself I thought I'd lost forever. So no, I don't deserve it, but I receive it. Because I believe now that you love not because of who I am, but because of who you are. And that is enough. More than enough. I've spent so long trying to outrun the echo of not enough. I told myself I didn't belong, even when you never said those words. I looked at the mess I made and assumed you had moved on, that you had found someone holier, someone more obedient, someone less complicated. And maybe I thought I was doing you a favor by walking away quietly, as if my absence would make things cleaner. But love isn't clean, is it? It enters into the mess. It walks into the dust and sits there. And you did that. You didn't ask me to fix it first. You didn't wait for me to shine. You met me in the dark. You waited while I wandered. You whispered when I refused to listen. You watched as I tried to build strength from my own hands, and waited until I was ready to come home. And now I think I'm ready. Not because I figured it all out, not because the shame is completely gone, but because I finally believe you still want me, and that changes everything. If you still want me, not the version I pretend to be, but me, then I want to stay. I want to be where you are, even if it means facing my past, even if it means walking through the slow process of healing, even if it means learning how to trust again, how to pray again, how to open my heart without fear. If you still want me, I'll stop running. I'll stop apologizing for being wounded. I'll stop acting like grace was meant for everyone else except me. If you still want me, I'll stay, even in the silence, even when it's hard, even when I feel like I'm falling apart again. Because I'd rather be broken with you than put together without you. I'd rather stay in the presence of a God who knows my name than chase perfection in a world that forgets me tomorrow. And maybe that's what redemption really looks like. Not a perfect comeback, not a grand performance, just staying, just saying yes when I'm tempted to hide, just standing still when I used to run. So here I am, Lord, still afraid, still learning, still healing, but here, if you still want me, I'm not going anywhere. I forgot how to let love in. Somewhere along the road, I built walls instead of doors. Not because I stopped needing love, but because I stopped believing I deserved it. I told myself it was safer this way, that if I didn't expect to be loved, I wouldn't be hurt when the love disappeared. I stopped reaching, stopped receiving. I kept my head down and tried to be good enough, as if I could earn my way back into belonging. But love doesn't wait for performance. It just comes, quietly, consistently, even when I turn my face away, even when I flinch at the thought of being fully seen. And Lord, you've loved me anyway. You've loved through my silence, through my resistance, through my deflection of every compliment, every act of grace, every tender invitation. I've pushed away what I most needed because somewhere deep inside I thought I wasn't worthy of it. But you've never loved me because I was worthy. You've loved me because it's who you are. Love isn't something you do, it's something you are. And now, I'm asking, genuinely, vulnerably, would you teach me how to be loved again? Teach me how to stop bracing for rejection. Teach me how to accept kindness without suspicion. Teach me how to believe that love doesn't always leave, that not all affection is manipulation, that sometimes the arms stretched toward me are not a trap, but a refuge. I want to believe you love me. I want to feel it, not just in my head, but in my bones. I want to stop shrinking away every time someone sees beauty in me. I want to stop apologizing for needing what you designed me to receive. Love, safety, grace. I want to be loved with my eyes open, with my heart soft, with my walls slowly falling. I don't know how to do that on my own, but I think that's the point. I was never meant to learn love by myself. You've been loving me all along, I just forgot how to see it. So teach me, Lord, slowly, gently, patiently. Teach me how to believe that I don't have to fight to be loved, that I don't have to earn what's already being offered, that I can be held without explanation, that I can be cherished even in my healing. I'm ready to learn, not just how to love others, but how to let myself be loved by you. Lord, I've spent so much of my life protecting parts of me I should have surrendered, holding together false identities, old habits, carefully built masks I thought I needed to survive. I've learned how to look okay even when I'm not, how to sound strong even when I'm afraid, how to perform faith even when my soul feels hollow. And the longer I've kept it up, the more I've forgotten what it feels like to simply be honest, soft, whole. So tonight, I won't ask you to make me stronger. I won't ask you to keep me comfortable. I won't ask you to keep all my pieces neatly in place. No. Tonight, I'm asking you to break what needs to break in me. Break the pride that keeps me from asking for help. Break the fear that makes me hide. Break the shame that whispers I'll never be enough. Break the patterns I keep running back to when I'm scared of intimacy. Break the lies I've believed about who I am. Break the walls I built between me and love, between me and truth, between me and you. I know this prayer is dangerous. I know healing doesn't always feel gentle, but I'm tired of being half alive, tired of going through the motions, tired of looking free while living caged. I want the kind of freedom that costs something, the kind that starts with surrender, the kind that isn't afraid of brokenness because it knows what happens when you rebuild. You are the God who makes beauty from ruins, who takes dust and breathes life, who breaks not to destroy, but to release. So if there's something in me that's standing in the way of peace, of love, of purpose, then break it. Break it so the light can get in. Break it so the pretending can stop. Break it so what remains is real, is rooted, is yours. I won't run this time. I won't cling to what's crumbling. I trust you more than I trust the structure I built to survive. I'm ready to live unhidden, undone, if that's what it takes. Because broken in your hands is better than whole in mine. Lord, there's a voice that follows me, quiet, persistent, cruel. It doesn't shout, but it never leaves. It reminds me of what I've done, where I've failed, who I've hurt, who I haven't become. It rewrites my name into something smaller, something stained. And the worst part is, I started to believe it. Shame has a way of feeling true, even when it's not. It sounds familiar. It sounds like my own voice sometimes, and so I let it sit beside me. I let it narrate my worth. I let it tell me you were tired of me, done with me, disappointed. Even when I sang songs about grace, even when I told others they were forgiven, I still let shame define me in the quiet. And yet, here I am, whispering to the only one whose voice has ever brought peace. Lord, let your voice be louder than my shame, louder than the replaying of mistakes, louder than the self-judgment I carry like armor, louder than the labels I accepted but never chose. Let your voice thunder with truth, not to condemn, but to call me out of hiding. Let it rise like a song over the battlefield of my mind. Let it break through the lies I've lived with so long. I started calling them identity. Speak to the parts of me that still flinch at love. Speak to the version of me that keeps looking backward. Remind me who I really am, not who shame says I am, but who you say I am. Loved, chosen, forgiven, carried. Not perfect, but redeemed. Not spotless, but made new. I don't want to live at the mercy of memories anymore. I want to live at the mercy of mercy. I want to walk in the truth that shame has no authority where love has spoken. I want to drown out the enemy's whispers with your promises. So speak, Lord. Speak louder. Speak steadier. Speak until I believe again. Until I walk like someone who's been set free. Until I breathe without apology. Until I hear my name and smile. Until I can stand, not because I'm flawless, but because I am fully yours. Let your voice be louder than my shame, and let that be the sound that carries me forward. Lord, I've spent so much time looking backward, rewinding my worst moments, replaying what I should have done differently, grieving the things I let slip away. And somewhere in all that regret, I started to believe the best parts of my story were already behind me. That maybe I had missed too much, messed up too many times, taken too many wrong turns. That starting again wasn't possible, not for someone like me. But tonight, a question rises in my chest. Quiet, trembling, but real. What if I could start again, with you? Not alone, not ashamed, not pretending I know how. Just beginning. With empty hands, with open wounds. With the pieces of who I am now, not who I used to be. What if the beginning you offer isn't polished? What if it's raw and slow and beautiful in its own way? What if grace means I don't need to erase everything, just surrender it? I'm tired of trying to rewrite the past. I want to write something new, something rooted in you, something honest, something free. I know starting again doesn't mean forgetting. It means forgiving. It means looking at what was and choosing not to let it define what will be. It means learning to hope again, even with hands that still shake. Lord, if you'll walk with me, if you'll be in it, I'll begin again. I'll take the first step, no matter how small. I'll open the door to joy again, even if it hurts. I'll let peace visit places I've kept locked. I'll believe that life isn't done unfolding, that you're still writing, that I haven't missed too much to matter. And even if I never become who I thought I should be, I want to become who you see when you look at me. Not who the world expects, not who shame demands, just yours. So, if there's still time, Lord, if you're still offering beginnings, I say yes. Not because I'm confident in myself, but because I'm starting to believe in your love again. And maybe that's what starting over really means. Not going back, but going forward, together. Lord, I believed in you for a long time. I believed the stories, the sermons, the promises written in red and gold across old pages. I nodded when people said you were good. I sang the songs. I bowed my head. I played the part. And maybe at some point, I thought that was enough. That believing in you from a distance would carry me through. That admiring you would somehow substitute for intimacy. But now, I want more. I want something deeper. I don't want to just believe in you. I want to know you, not know about you, not quote you, not recite your attributes from memory. I want to know the sound of your voice when everything in me is silent. I want to recognize your presence in the quiet corners of my day. I want to know what moves you, what breaks your heart, what you whisper in the moments no one else is around. I don't want you to be an idea I cling to in crisis. I want you to be the breath in my lungs, the grounding when I'm afraid, the closest voice in the room, even when I'm alone. I've known religion, I've known ritual, I've known how to look faithful, but now I want to know you, personally, tenderly, honestly, even if it means unlearning things I thought I understood, even if it means wrestling through questions I was once too afraid to ask, even if it means being uncomfortable, because knowing you might not always feel easy, but it will always be real. And I'm done settling for anything less than real. I don't want to impress you. I want to sit with you. I want to listen, not just talk. I want to walk with you, not just visit on Sundays. I want a relationship, not a performance. So if there's more of you, I want it. If there's more to discover, I'm ready. If there's an invitation to come closer, I accept. Not to get something, but to have someone, to have you. Because belief may carry me into eternity, but knowing you, that's what changes everything here and now. That's what sets me free. That's what makes me whole. So draw near, Lord. I'll draw near too. I want to know you, truly. Lord, I want to promise you everything, that I'll never wander again, that I'll always choose you, that from this day forward, I'll be faithful, consistent, unwavering. But I've made promises before. I've said never again with tears in my eyes, and still found myself drifting, still found myself tired, still found myself tangled in the same old fears. I don't want to lie to you, even with good intentions. So instead of promises, I offer this prayer. Stay close, even when I drift again, because I know myself, I know my tendencies. I know how easily I chase noise when I get scared of silence. I know how I numb instead of feel, how I withdraw instead of trust. And I know there will be days when I forget what I'm feeling now. Days when I choose comfort over conviction. Days when doubt feels louder than truth. I hope I don't wander again, Lord. But if I do, please stay close. When I go silent, keep whispering. When I grow cold, keep reaching. When I get distracted, keep drawing me back. I don't ask because I'm planning to fall. I ask because I'm human. And I've lived long enough to know that love isn't proven by perfect behavior. It's proven by return. And every time I return, I want to find you still there. Not because you owe it to me, but because you said you are faithful. And I'm learning to believe you. I'm learning that grace isn't a one-time pass. It's a lifelong presence, a rhythm, a mercy that meets me where I fall and walks me home again. So when I drift, as I sometimes will, don't leave. I give you permission to come find me, to sit beside me in the confusion, to wait for my heart to soften again. And when it does, when I turn back, even if it's slow, remind me gently, you are never too far. Stay close, Lord, not because I'm strong, but because you are. Lord, I've been thinking about all the times you could have walked away, all the moments when I shut you out, when I chose the easy road, when I stopped showing up, when I broke promises you never asked me to make. You could have left. You could have let me go. You could have turned your face and said, enough. But you didn't. You stayed. Quietly, steadily, lovingly. You stayed when I gave you the silent treatment. When I filled my life with distractions and pretended I was fine. When I said I trusted you but clung to everything else for safety. You stayed when I ran, not once, but again and again. And when I returned, with my words trembling and my guilt heavy, you didn't lecture me. You welcomed me. No shame, no punishment, just open arms and open heart. And I don't know why you did it. I don't know what you see in me that made you choose to stay. But I know what I see in you, mercy. The kind that doesn't keep score. The kind that waits without resentment. The kind that proves love is more than a feeling. It's a choice, and you chose me. You still choose me. When I feel unusable, you call me useful. When I feel forgotten, you remind me I'm known. When I feel too broken, you whisper, you're mine. I don't take that lightly. I can't, because I know what I've done. I know the weight I carry, and yet, somehow, you carry it with me. You stay, not because you have to, but because you want to. And that truth, it wrecks me in the best way. It breaks down the walls I built to protect myself from disappointment. It melts the lie that love always leaves. You are the first presence in my life that never gave up. And for that, I say thank you. Thank you for seeing the mess and staying anyway. For hearing my doubts and answering with compassion. For witnessing my failure and still calling me worthy. I will never understand the fullness of your love, but I will spend the rest of my days responding to it, not with perfection, but with praise, and with every breath I have left. I'll carry this truth close. You stayed, and that changed everything. Lord, I'm not who I was when I first began this prayer. I started broken, ashamed, unsure if you were still near. I came with questions I was too afraid to ask, wounds I barely let myself feel, and a heart that didn't know if it was still allowed to hope. But now, something is different. Not perfect, not finished, but different. I feel softer, lighter, more open. I've stopped hiding from you, and I think, maybe for the first time in a long time, I've stopped hiding from myself. And in that honesty, I've discovered something deeper than I expected. Peace, not the loud kind, not the one that promises answers, but the kind that holds me steady even when I don't know the next step. The kind that reminds me you're in the unknown too. I've spent so long asking you to stay. Now I feel you saying, it's time to go. Not go away from you, but go with you, to walk again, to speak again, to live again, not as someone desperate for love, but as someone already loved, fully, freely, forever. I'm not asking for certainty, I'm asking for blessing. Not because I deserve it, but because I'm finally ready to carry it. I want to live like someone who has been forgiven. I want to love like someone who knows what mercy tastes like. I want to show up for others the way you've shown up for me, faithful, gentle, kind. I don't know where this path leads. I just know it leads with you, and that's enough. So bless me, Lord. Bless me as I go, not to escape, but to extend what you've given. Let my scars be signs of survival, not shame. Let my voice be soft, but strong. Let my story be a doorway, not a wall. I'm not trying to prove anything anymore. I'm just trying to live loved, and in that love, I want to become a blessing. For the broken, for the wandering, for the ones who still think they're too far gone. Because now I know, there's no such place. I was never too far, and neither are they. So bless me, Lord, not for comfort, but for courage, not for status, but for service, not for safety, but for surrender. I'm ready now, and I'm not walking away, I'm walking forward, with you, always with you. If you've made it here, thank you for listening, for feeling, for letting your soul be seen. May these words stay with you, not as poetry, but as permission to return, to rest, to believe again. God was never waiting for perfect. He was waiting for you. And now that you've come home, walk forward, speak softly, live honestly, and never forget, you are still wanted. You are still loved. You are still His, always.